What's him about?
Leave the
Like
place.
going on holiday.
I never want to see you again. I don't want to hear you again. Flapping your cellulite at every pastry chef this side of Naples.
Even your dog couldn't stand the sight of you. No wonder he went off with that mongrel in Madeira. Good riddance! Oh.
42 The Limes, Heather Green, dear Vera. Now do not tear up this letter. Read it first and then decide. You will no doubt be very surprised to hear from me, since we both vowed never to communicate with one another again after that disastrous holiday we took together all those years ago. However, a certain event has taken place, of which I feel duty-bound to inform you of. I just wish there was a gentle way to tell you this dreadful news, but Bill Snapes is dead.
Oh, no.
Well, you remember, of course, after him dallying with us both, he set up with a girl half his age, and I think I told you they had a baby. I seem to recall us enjoying the joke of him having to change nappies in his 60s. Well, no sooner did she have that baby on solids that another one pops out. The upshot is that he had a heart attack last week, from which he never recovered, and the funeral is on Friday. I'll tell you something, the village is buzzing with rumours that he was taking Niagara. Which just goes to show what happens when you try to burn both your candles at one end. In the circumstances, if you do want to pay your respects at the surface, which is at 3 in the afternoon, you're very welcome to stay overnight on my Z bed. I've already checked the trains. There's no way that you could get back afterwards unless you were prepared to spend the night on the platform in Nottingham.
Night on the platform, staying with Irene. Staying with Irene. Night on the platform.
Incidentally, since I'm writing, I thought I'd mention that I found your bathing suit. It had somehow insinuated itself into an old sleeping bag of mine, which I was about to donate to the local village bus shelter fund. I won't bother to send it to you. The elastic's gone in both legs now. I always knew there'd be a perfectly rational explanation for its disappearance, which did not involve me stealing it. Gosh, when I think of, the trouble that caused, the screaming and the shouting and the row. Anyway, the red wine came out of my cream skirt on the 3rd wash, so as far as I'm concerned, the hatchet is well and truly buried. Best wishes, Irene Spencer. Please note my new address. I've had to ever so slightly downsize.
Sheepdipper's Shed, Shale Shop, near Great Shagthorn, Wednesday. Dear Irene, I was covered in shame on receipt of your letter. I was also covered in sheep's yoghurt. Your opening phrase was so alarming, I thought it was one of those threatening chain letters which plague the vulnerable, and I dropped the pot all over me. And shame, because it's been on my mind to write to you for months, particularly after I found several photos of us on that very holiday when I was clearing out my room at the nursing home. Oh. Do you remember that lovely Italian man who insisted on snapping us at the Trevi Fountain? You just called me a blithering idiot for tossing in the equivalent of £5 in euros. Oh, foreign coins are so confusing. He caught what I like to think is the essential you. Oh, I did have a laugh. And it put me in mind of so many similar occasions over the years we'd known each other. I've only recently returned to my son Howard's after a brief sojourn at Golden Pastures residential home. I'd had a nasty cold, which led to slight deafness, but my daughter Karen decided my blank stare when she was screaming something at me about her latest love tangle, was incipient Alzheimer's, and persuaded Howard to commit me to long-term care for the elderly. Lord save us from overdramatic daughters.
Dear Karen.
I got my hearing back and left after a fortnight, and am now waiting for sheltered accommodation to become vacant. I suppose that means waiting for one of the poor old dears to die. I never thought I'd wish that on anybody, but life at Sheepdipper's Shed, even with one's favourite child, is a little trying. And of course I'll come to the funeral, well, it's only proper. When I'd love to stay, if only for the hot water.
Bubble bath, large bottle gin, small bottle tonic.
By all means, give that bikini to the bus shelter fund. And if you don't want it, perhaps somebody else with large thighs will buy it. I'll just jump on Howard's bike and pedal the 6 miles to the post. Really, you can take this eco stuff too far. Howard and Anthony live up at 1 in 4 Hill. Oh. 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 Ow. Oh. Well, I look forward to seeing you if I survive it. All the best, Vera.
Hello. Oh, it's sad.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
No, don't do that. Sorry. No. Oh. Taxi's here.
Just coming.
I'll just be a minute. Shall we go?
For as much as it hath pleased Almighty God of his great mercy to take unto himself the soul of our dear departed brother, Bill, we therefore commit his body to the ground.
Dear Howard, I regret to tell you that your mother had an accident while staying here. The dentures broke in the fall and her lips are swollen up like balloons. So frankly, she's making even less sense than usual. Suffice to say that, as ever, the combination of strong drink and the close proximity of a member of the opposite sex had its usual effect on her. Ooh. The gentleman in question fortunately escaped with a nosebleed and a hairline fracture of his big toe. But Tracy Snapes was appalled, and the golf club Pelargoniums will never be the same again.
Hi. There was a small incident, I'll admit, but nothing like on the scale she's been suggesting, and certainly not for the reasons. The funeral was a pleasant enough affair. Can't say I took much to Tracy Snape. She's gone past her bloom very quickly.
I'm so very sorry. Such a lovely man. Thank you so much for coming.
No, he was very happy with you.
She omitted to follow Bill's last instructions. No doubt getting even when he can't answer back. And the wake was an alcohol-free zone.
How do you mean, just tea? Just tea?
One of Bill's golfing compadres, Barry Rowbottom, and I were chatting in the bar, which was closed. And Barry, who's a charming man, was kind enough to offer me a drop of warming whiskey and my tea. Well, it turns out He's a strictly ballroom chap. He's got trophies. Well, as you know, the dance floor is my second home. I'm a master of the Turkish towel. Oh. And in no time he was demonstrating a couple of tricky steps in the Paso Doble, which has always been one of my favourites, as some people might say. And indeed, the Din Irene was one of them. Dancing at a funeral shows disrespect. However, in executing a flamboyant bull charge, I skidded, stepped on Barry's toe, threw out an arm, and punched him in the eye. Irene said afterwards we crashed and rolled around on top of one another. That's a wild exaggeration. But staying with her under the circumstances is very trying.
You think you could possibly take her back with you to Sheepdipper's shed?
Please, come and get me as soon as possible.
Frankly, I'm exhausted. And she's only been here a day and a half.
Your loving Mumsy.
With all good wishes.
Kiss, kiss.
Irene.
As for the pain...
Sheepdipper's Shed, Monday. Dear Irene, how lovely to hear from you after all this time, albeit in such painful circumstances. Mumsy's letter arrived in the same post, adding to the confusion. I think it's better to correspond directly with you, given the Alzheimer's situation. Oh, poor Mumsy. She does have a way of courting disaster. Life on a mountain is tough enough without milking sheep with both arms in plaster. We approached the hospital in Great Shagthorne, but the triage nurse, although he's a pet, said with all her problems, she just didn't qualify as salvageable and advised a quick pillow over the face. But I'm sure he was only joking. Anthony's talked to our cheese man about borrowing his delivery van. We can lie a full length in that, which is more than we can in the MG Midget. All being well, we'll be with you Wednesday. Fondest regards, and a big kiss for Mumsy, not on her swollen lips. Howard, how about that, Lady Barbara? Lovely.
Dear Howard, well, Wednesday has come and gone with neither sight nor sound of you. And quite frankly, I'm being run ragged by your mother's demands. Everything's got to be pureed since her teeth went west and my blender's given up the ghost. I'm having to do everything by hand in a sieve. And then, of course, she's had this accident with the bed sheets. The beetroot borscht. I thought she was bleeding to death, but no such luck. My blood pressure's rocketed, and the way I'm feeling at the moment, one or other of us may be in grave danger of death. I just had to pause there, as your mother has fallen asleep in the bath, which has now overflowed.
Any chance of a small gin, dear?
Oh, coming up! I hope it chokes you. If you haven't arrived to remove your mother by this time morning, I shall have to put her in a minicab, COD, and send her to you. Love, Irene.
Oh, my God, what are you keeping here? It smells of underpants.
We're on a delivery, Vera.
Oh, it's only a bit of Parmesan, Mumsy.
Oh, I think I'm melting a stinking bishop.
Oh, not for the first time, dear.
Oh, that's what we do here.
Audrey! It's Vera! Audrey!
Dear Vera, I hope your journey back to Sheepdipper's in the van went well, and that you survived the smell of the Stilton. And I hope your leg is feeling better, and that the bostic on your dentures dried eventually without sticking to your gums and tongue as we feared. As you will see from this parcel, you left your negligee behind, so here it is, laundered and enclosed. Oh, I'm also enclosing some fudge, which I bought from Eliza Pickle's home products stall at the Bus Shelter Fund Bring 'em By yesterday. Well, I thought you should be able to suck by now, even if you still can't masticate. Barry Rowbottom was there. And he asked after you and sent you his best.
Oh, did he know? I said, oh, is it time for a G&T? I'd go, but...
I'm just hoping that the dust will settle on your last visit here and that we can put those hasty words behind us. Barry Rowbottom was very, very quick to take the blame for the incident at the funeral.
Vindication.
And when I came to think of it, it was inevitable that we would be tense with one another, isn't it, at Bill Snape's funeral, after all the trouble that he put us both through all those years ago.
Oh, Audrey, I say, is there any gin in this, dear? It tastes like tonic water.
After all, it was only the day before I found you in bed together that he had asked me if I would ever consider taking the marital plunge again.
You too?
But it was serious. Oh, Vera. This is so hard for me to say, but... But I am sorry if I caused offence during your stay. I was tetchy and under some strain. But I send fond regards and hopeful thoughts from your erstwhile friend, Irene. I'll get to the post box before I change my mind.
The homely faggot, Western Esplanade, Vicar upon St Agnes. Dear Irene, really, I've never known anyone like you for meeting trouble halfway, except perhaps Audrey Roscoe. Oh, thank you, dear. Oh, it must be long gone time for supper. My rumblings are infallible. As you can see from the address, I'm staying with her to recuperate what had all I could take of sheep dippers. Howard would insist on plunging my leg in sheep's urine.
Here we go. Oh, look.
Some ethnic health practice Anthony'd picked up. Thank goodness they didn't extend it to my dentures. Anyway, you'll be pleased to know I am much better. In fact, as Karen said when I saw her last week, and expressed surprise at her tattoo. Apparently she's had it 2 years. Mother is back to normal. I don't recall what these hasty words were. You insisted you couldn't understand a thing I said, hasty or otherwise. Certainly you raised your voice more than was strictly necessary, but I put that down to your distress over Bill. I'm more sensitive than you realise. I know perfectly well you've been carrying a candle for that two-timing creep for years.
What absolute twaddle. You've been dead to me for years, utterly and completely in the past tense.
You've missed a lot of chances. There was that nice Italian policeman on our trip. And the car mechanic who mended the dormobile. Now you can move on with your life instead of hoping you'll ever come back.
Oh, Audrey's just come in with the fish and chips and the news that there's sheltered accommodation going near the beach. I shall pop down tomorrow and investigate. Just me, dear, are these? Need a little more vinegar? All for now. And rest assured, your secrets are safe with me. And Audrey Roscoe. Love as always, Vera. Can you bring the salt, love? Save you 2 trips.